Consistency is my second favorite C word. And it doesn't mean doing things when you feel like doing them. It doesn't mean Monday to Friday and then sacking it off for the weekend. It doesn't mean 3 perfect weeks and then a week completely off the rails. Consistency means the boring, unsexy, nobody watching version of doing the right things over and over again for long periods of time. Without motivation, without discipline, without willpower, none of that nonsense. Most people have simply never been consistent enough for long enough to see the progress they want to see. And so instead keep looking for the next fix. So today we're going to get to the bottom of this. So by the end of this video, you're going to be armed with the tools to go off and be consistent for yourself. I'm Jeff and I've been in this industry for over 10 years and I've helped hundreds of people just like you who are frustrated with their lack of results and have gone on to feel genuinely consistent and finally see the results they knew they were always capable of. And I've made it my mission on this platform to help as many of you as possible do the same thing. So let's get stuck in. So let's talk about what consistency actually means, because most people think that consistency needs to be perfection, and it doesn't. I like to look at consistency as reducing the frequency and the size of the mistakes that you make, the things that hold you back. Think more returning to the plan as quickly as you can, not sacking off a whole day on Saturday and then going, I'll start again Monday. To steal a very good quote from a very good book from a very good author called James Clear, never miss twice. It's getting you into the mindset of things are going to happen in life that are going to throw you off things being completely perfect, but as long as you never miss twice and get back on track ASAP, you're onto a winner. Now let's talk about the weekend problem, because most people's weekends are where it all goes wrong. Monday to Friday, life is a lot easier. I know even for myself, I'm in this office Monday to Friday. My work week is very structured. I'm in here 6:30 in the morning. I'm in here for the best part of the day. My meals are more structured. My family time is much more organized. I'm pretty much focused on work, which is the same as most people. Now, the weekends for me are where it all goes a little bit off piste, because I've got 2 young children. We like to spend our weekends out and about. Sometimes we're visiting relatives. We might be out for the day at a theme park, at an event. Who knows what we could be doing at the weekend, and this is the same for you guys. And it's important to realize just how much of a percentage those weekends make up. Think of it like this, because this is the one that changes the game for me. 365 days a year, 104 of those days are weekends. 28.49%. to be precise. Think about that as a percentage, and I want you to think about if you did a test or you did any sort of exam and you scored 70%. Would you be happy with 70%? Because I know I wouldn't. That's 30% of the time that is being absolutely wrecked. You need to make a strategy for those weekends. You need a plan for those weekends. And the ironic thing is, it's not that difficult. It just requires some thought. These are all things that I help my one-to-one clients with. And if you're struggling with this yourself, head to the description of the bio, because I've got a 4-week tracker in there, the same 4-week tracker I use with my clients, so you can track this for yourself, including the weekends. Now, another mistake people make is waiting to feel ready. This one cracks me up. Oh, I'm just waiting for life to quiet down. I'm just waiting for motivation. That's my favorite one. Look, motivation is just going to fall out of thin air. Let me tell you where motivation comes from. Action. Motivation comes from taking action, seeing a result, understanding that that feels good. You get a nice little dopamine hit from that. That becomes your motivation to then go and do that thing again. Because if motivation was just going to fall out of thin air, why hasn't it already? It's not going to happen. Create your own motivation, become your own motivation. Now, I want to talk about the power of habit stacking. I've mentioned James Clear once in this video and Atomic Habits. You should probably go read Atomic Habits. It's a very good book. But your environment beats willpower. And guess who's in control of your environment? You are. Stop acting like you're not. One of my favorite things to do is habit stack. I want you to think about basic things you do in your day-to-day life that involve habit stacking. Where do you keep your toothbrush? You keep it in the most convenient place for you to be able to brush your teeth when you're in the bathroom. Imagine if you kept your toothbrush downstairs in the garage, and every time you needed to brush your teeth upstairs, you had to go to the garage to get your toothbrush. Think about, imagine this in any other situation. Why is your fridge in the kitchen? This is why, if you want to master the art of habit stacking, you need to try and remove friction, because one of my favorite ways to teach consistency with my own clients is to try and remove the friction. To be consistent at something, you need it to be as frictionless as possible, which means you need to make it as easy as possible. Let me give you a couple of good examples. If you struggle to wake up in the morning, don't keep your phone, if you're using it as an alarm, next to your bed. Put it the other side of the room. So when the alarm goes off, you have to get up to turn the alarm off. Leave your clothes next to your phone. So as soon as you get up, you can start to get dressed. This is simple habit stacking. It's streamlining your day. My breakfast is the most simple breakfast. I've been having it for the last 15 or 20 years. I have 250 grams of fat-free Greek yogurt, a scoop of whey protein, and some oats. When my calories are low, less oats. When my calories are high, more oats. minutes. I still make this meal the night before to save myself 2 minutes in the morning. The more you can streamline the day ahead of yourself, the more likely you're going to be consistent. Don't underestimate the power of habit stacking. So if you really want to master the art of consistency, stop worrying about perfection. Just start worrying about things being in the right place the majority of the time. Consistency is tracking your food for 7 days, even if it wasn't necessarily perfect for one of them, or you had to estimate a couple of those meals. You still tracked it, you still tried. It's hitting your step target 6 out of the 7 days, but for example, maybe one of those days was a little bit low because you had a good reason for it to be low, and it was slightly low rather than just in the bin. Stop treating things like this on-off wagon and try and think of this more like a dial, that you want to keep that dial turned up as much as possible, and the worst thing that happens is the dial is just slightly dialed back. And the last important one from me is stop starting Monday. Stop. If you ever find yourself saying, I'll start again on Monday, that needs to end. It is the biggest killer of consistency. I want you to imagine 2 people right now. In fact, I want you to imagine a genetically identical clone of yourself. And one of you is on point 90% of the time for, let's say, 12 or 16 weeks, 90% for the whole 12 or 16 weeks. And your genetically identical clone is on it Monday to Friday, 100% on it Monday to Friday, and then the weekends go to shit. That second person feels more disciplined and feels more productive because they're bang on it Monday to Friday. But let me tell you who's getting the better results. It's the first one, the one who is consistent for 90% of the time, the majority of the time. And let me leave you with this final point. The hidden cost of inconsistency is not just the damage to your physique. It's the damage to your self-trust. Think about the trust you build with other people. It's based upon previous behaviors. This is the exact same with yourself. And so I challenge you to this. For the next 7 days, don't actually focus on losing fat. Don't even focus on the scales. And definitely don't focus on motivation. Focus on keeping the promises to yourself for 7 consecutive days. Prove that you can do it, and then go from there. And if you head to the description of this video now, you can go and take my Readiness for Change quiz, which is gonna help you dial in exactly what you need to work on in order to become more consistent. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, drop a comment below, and I'll catch you next week.